Alright, well we've arrived in the small town of Hector, and there's a dairy right across the road, which is handy, but we'll get set up and no one else here. This is an old tennis court.
So where even is Hector? Well, it's right here on the coast, a village named after the rare and small Hector dolphins. We swam with some of them at Curio Bay.
Because it's an old tennis court, it's nice and level, which is good. There we are. I saw a lot of comments about the toilet block that's right there. It says closed due to no water, but there might be some other issues going on there, I think. Alright kids, what do you think about this spot and how does it feel outside?
Pretty cool. Hot. There's a little bit of wood still. You can light another fire.
Some lunch, look.
Apparently Riley could
It's so warm here, like literally a week ago we were in the snow. 6 days ago we were camping in the snow, now we're shorts and t-shirt, the kids are in bare feet. What a drastic change to the weather we experience here in New Zealand, eh? Looks like the area is trying to save itself from coastal erosion. These are big rocks all the way along. I guess when it gets rough here, it starts eroding away at the coastline.
So I'm jumping a little bit ahead here with our videos, but this place has already experienced the wrath of the ocean. A few days after being here, we had some king tides, which are extremely high tides, and we had a very rough ocean storm. The ocean came right across the road here. I couldn't imagine the state of the waterfront homes, but these massive stones, they are trying to stop a very powerful ocean. And if we jump even further ahead, we've seen some places where the sand dunes have been completely washed away. This is a huge problem, and we will see more massive changes to these areas in the coming years, I'm sure. But back to Hector for some exploring along the beach.
Quite a lot on the back here. This is Toby and Dad Island. Me and Toby are too committed to getting mussels for fish bait. We're stuck on an island. Down in there, Tobes.
The beach was really fun for exploring. The rocks down here were pretty much all covered in mussels, which was pretty awesome. Some of them were really small, but then there were some decent sized ones if you look around. Definitely worth going down there at low tide to grab yourself a feed. We were mostly doing this to get some fish bait though. You do have to be careful of the tidal surge though. Those waves can really come up high.
Toby, you're stuck!
that one.
Oh look, you might have got wet on that one.
Yeah.
Whoa. So the mussels that me and Toby gathered, we are just slightly boiling them so we can pull the flesh out of the shell, and we're going to let them dry out so that we can make our own fish bait. Let them dry for a little bit, pour a stack of just table salt in there, and it kind of sucks the moisture out, toughens up the mussel so it sticks to the hook a lot better. Hopefully we can catch a fish. This is, I guess, just a really cheap and affordable way if you can get free mussels to make some fish bait. Fish bait's getting pretty expensive. You're looking at like $16, $17 a kilo for a bag of squid or pilchard. So if we can catch some fish like this, even a bait fish is going to help us out. And this is a good activity and a good way of saving some dollars on the road, making our own fish bait. I'd say I only leave them in the hot pot for maybe about 20-30 seconds, and I pull them out just enough that they can't like slam themselves shut again, and that way you can kind of get that flesh out nice and whole without cooking the mussel. And the other good thing about doing this is the mussels will stay usable as fish bait for a very long time. They don't go off because of all that salt that you add to it. It really helps it to what's the word, last? Yeah, preserve it. Right, what are you doing, mate?
Getting all the meat out of them and then
Show us how you do it. Sandflies galore, eh?
Yes, really annoying.
Oh, straight into it.
So the mussels need to sit for a little bit of time to get some of the moisture out, but you just keep on adding plenty of salt. It will take probably 3, maybe even 4 days to get all the moisture out. You don't want to have any mussel juice sitting in the mussels. You just want them to be dry and they will last a long time.
We are finishing our day off down at the beach. I've thrown my fishing line out. I didn't bring any extra bait down because I don't think I'm going to catch anything. But me and Toby, we went and got some mussels off the rocks that you would have seen down at the beach. So using a bit of that for bait. The kids have got the fire going. Hopefully this weather just stays being awesome.
We really felt like we lucked out on the west coast so far. A place often very windy and rainy has been delivering beautiful days.
I know my heart that I loved her the best that I could. I know with every breath now I'm standing on my own. 2, 3, 4.
The next day we were off to Charming Creek, a walk that you used to be able to do from this camp spot. You'd wander up the river, but after some massive landslides the track is now closed, which means it's a very long out and back walk which you need to access from the valley at Seddonville. We'd heard great things about this walk, so off we went to the end of the road.
Alright, we are at the Charming Creek walkway. I'm a little bit hesitant about going all the way through to the falls. Might be a bit long for the kids. I think it's like 6 kilometres each way. Hopefully a few of you have told us we've got to do this walk, so trusting you that it's going to be awesome. Let's go. So a bit of coal still left. This whole thing is looking a bit coaly.
So like a lot of the areas on the west coast, there was a lot of mining relics and the old machinery that remains in this once very busy worksite. You do follow along the stream the whole way, which is nice.
Well, it's a beautiful day. It is, I'm in shorts and t-shirt with plenty of bug spray on. The sun's out. The truck is now starting to get a nice dusting of pollen on it. And yeah, that's about all I've got to say. What about you, Jade?
I don't think I have anything.
Not the Soph leaving her phone on the back of the truck. Lucky someone's fit and can run back and get it. Right.
I'm just going to remember a 40k round trip to find your shoes at St Bathans.
Too true, Soph. Looks like the people who made the road to Westport have been here.
I packed up all my bags and I left the front door like I've never been there before. I left my little dog in your hands. It's alright, I know you take care of her. Peace be with you, baby. All of my heart goes out to you.
We found like a bit of a geothermal spring here. You can see the sulphur and you can smell it.
Once we reached around the 6 kilometre mark where we stopped for lunch with a friendly robin, the track really started to come alive. And to be honest, we didn't really find the trail that interesting until we reached this section, which is the trail end that's closest to Hector.
So this is what it looks like as far as you can get to it, the suspension bridge. The trail is closed due to some quite big slips over a couple of storms, not sure how long ago, but apparently it's going to be irreparable because they're just such big and steep slips. So this is as far as you can come. It's going to be quite the hike back. We'll see how the kids cope. We are at 6.8 kilometers, so it's going to be close to 13.5 kilometer walk to here. Those waterfalls are pretty awesome, but it's definitely much of a same old walk along some old rail lines with some regenerating native forest. So we'll see how everyone copes on the way back. So we will see you a little bit later on.
If you're in the area and you have the time, it's a nice quiet trail to explore. We were the only ones here all day, but at a 13-kilometer round trip, you'd want to be reasonably fit. And it is much like what you see here until you reach that last section.
Cool, well that was Hector. That will kind of conclude our little bit of Westport. Heading further up the road now to Gentle Annie, and we'll see you there in the next episode. See you later.
So Gentle Annie came recommended to us by so many people. Rated the 3rd best campground in New Zealand. They do a really great weekly price stay over the winter, just $115 a week on a powered site, and lots of things to do in the area and on site. So we were looking forward to showing you around and sharing our adventures with you here next time. We'll see you then.